The new traffic light government recently formed in Germany, and with that, certain financial changes have also been proposed. So in this video, I'm going to go through 10 elements on how things will change financially in 2022. So point number 1 is basic free tax income or Grundfreibetrag. This basic allowance is the most important tax allowance. Everyone is entitled to it, regardless of whether they are an infant, an employee, or a pensioner. The basic tax-free amount is the same for everyone and is adjusted regularly. For each individual, income of up to 9,744 euros is not to be taxable in 2021. In 2022, the basic tax-free amount is increased to 9,984 euros for individuals. And for married couples and registered civil partners, the tax-free amount is doubled to 19,968 euros if they file jointly. Point number 2 is home office flat rate. This home office flat rate was introduced due to the pandemic, and it has been extended till the end of 2022. Every professional who works at home can claim a flat rate home office fee of 600 euros per year in the advertising cost section of the tax return. For every working day in the home office, a flat rate of 5 euros counts as advertising cost or business expenses for a maximum of 120 days in a year. That said, there is already a flat rate of 1,000 euros in terms of advertising costs that can be claimed in the tax return. So this home office flat rate is only beneficial for those who can prove that they have an advertising cost of more than 1,000 euros. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Point number 3 is property tax reform. The property tax reform takes effect from the next year. Each house owner has to pay this property tax to the government. But the standards on which these calculations are done have not been changed since 1964 and in some states since 1935. So this means that for some the property tax might increase and for some this can also decrease. This applies to the tenants as well, as the landlords include the property tax in the additional costs or Nebenkosten. This can either increase or decrease your rent from the next year onwards. Point number 4 is the Corona bonus. More than 1 million public sector employees in the federal states will receive a special payment of 1,300 euros by March 31st, which will be tax-free. Apprentices, interns, and student employees will receive half the amount. Around 1.1 employees of the state authorities, university clinics, research institutes, schools, daycare centers, the police and the fire brigade, road maintenance services, forestry or waste disposal companies, as well as 48,000 trainees benefit from this bonus. The premium is tax-free up to an amount of 1,500 euros. It does not matter whether the payment is made monthly or on a one-off payment. That said, every employer has a chance to give their employees this amount tax-free until 31st of March 2022. The employee has to pay tax on whatever is paid in excess to this 1,500 euros. Point number 5 is the Saver Lump Sum contribution. The Saver's allowance helps to save taxes. The Saver's Lump Sum is an income tax allowance. It allows singles to collect up to 801 euros in investment income tax-free and jointly taxed persons up to 1,602 euros. This lump sum contribution had not been changed since 2009 and will be increased to 1,000 euros for singles and 2,000 euros for couples from 2023. Point number 6 is neo-brokers. Neo-brokers are described as financial apps that allow users to trade stocks without additional fees. They have been referred to as a new class of brokers aiming to revolutionize investments through innovative concepts. They aim to make the stock market accessible for everyone by democratizing it. Even though the German government wants to be the central hub for fintech in Europe, the government thinks of banning the payment for order flow. This payment for order flow is the most important income source for many brokers like Trade Republic. Payment for order flow is the compensation and benefit a brokerage firm receives for directing orders to different parties for trade execution. The brokerage firm receives a small payment, usually fractions of a penny per share, as compensation for directing the order to a particular market maker. Meaning investment firms acting on behalf of clients shall not receive any fee or compensation or non-monetary benefit from any third party for forwarding client orders to such third parties for their execution. So brokers like Trade Republic, whose most important source of income is this method, chances are that they might introduce a type of fee in the future. So probably no more flat €1 fee per order anymore. Point number 7 is increase in minimum wage. The minimum wage will increase from the 1st of January 2022 to €9.82 per hour and will further increase to €10.45 per hour from the 1st of July 2022. The new government has even proposed to increase this minimum wage to €12 per hour, but this is again yet to be finalized. Point number 8 is energy cost. CO2 emission price is increasing, so the products connected to this will become even more expensive. For example, flights, fuels, and even heating costs will increase as a result. In January 2021, pricing for carbon dioxide emissions in the areas of heating and transportation were introduced for the first time. For heating oil, natural gas, petroleum, and diesel, a price of €25 per ton of CO2 was initially set. This will increase to €30 per 1 ton of CO2, meaning the CO2 fee will be approximately 10 cents per litre on fuel, and on heating of a 30 square meter house, approximately €30 per annum. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Point number 9 is contract terms and conditions. If a company offers to create a contract online, then from July 2022, every company that offers this opportunity to create a contract online, they should also provide an option to cancel the contract with a single click. This comes in addition to the amendments to the Telecommunication Act, which came into effect from the 1st of January 2021, where the contract termination limit for mobile and internet contracts was reduced to 1 month notice from the previous 3-month notice. Point number 10 is the rent break. The rent break, which was introduced in 2019, has been extended till 2029. In this rent break, when reletting existing apartments in an area with a tight housing market, the rent may not be more than 10% above the local comparative rate. The individual federal states decide whether the housing market is considered to be tense. To do this, they rate the region on basis of 4 indicators: population growth, vacancy rate, rent development, and rent burden. Basically, as soon as a state government has declared the housing market in a certain region to be tense, the rent break applies. Not all federal states have so far made use of the rental price break. In others, it has been overturned. The rent break applies to the reletting of existing apartments, but not to new buildings. The owner can set the rent for a newly built apartment without any restrictions. The background to this exception is the rent break should not prevent investors from creating new living spaces. The same applies to modernization measures. Obviously, these are some of the changes you can expect in the year 2022. Some might decrease your financial burden, some might increase it. But if you want to increase your overall income, click here where I talk about 9 ways to increase your income in Germany. Bleib gesund, and I'll see you in this video.